So of all the things Marshall does well this year, it seems like rebounding is one of the best. What are you seeing out of them in that category?
Great rebounding team. They're probably the best that we've seen to this point.
What are they doing so well on getting the glass and getting the edge in that department?
We get there all the time. It's kind of what I say to our guys all the time. If you get there, you're going to get some. If you don't ever get there, you're probably not going to get any. And they get there all the time. And Tim's got great bounce. He's got great bounce. He's got great second bounce. And Goff's got a big body and great hands. Looking for a very intelligent question.
I save my intelligent questions for when I get home.
From this bunch, good luck.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did.
You kind of talk about Tom and what he's doing there. Well, obviously, it seems like he's got the program going in the right direction.
I think he's done a great job of taking the players that were there and adding really what they needed to it. I think he's done a great job recruiting those inside guys. The perimeter guys are basically the same, and he's got them to buy into the way he wants to play, which is most of the battle.
You always look to play a couple of games in Charleston every year, and this is obviously one of them. What is it about that building that you like going down there and playing there for it, and what is it that excites you about that?
Well, the fan support. We've had great crowds there. I think we've sold it out. Just about every time we were there. We didn't sell it out this year, but we were close. And I think it kind of brings us a little bit closer to a large portion of our fan base.
Seems like fouls are a theme down there. Do you tell your kids, there's a chance there could be a lot of fouls called in this game?
Well, obviously you have to call fouls. You have to call fouls when fouls are there. You don't have to take it to extreme. Go back and look at a tape. There were a lot of fouls. And you hope that, if we foul a lot, they call a lot of fouls on us. If they foul a lot, they call a lot of fouls on them. And you don't try to, at the end of the day, look and make it even. You call the fouls that are there.
You talked about the game being in the league season and that you prefer not being there. But do you like this game? And is this what does this game mean to you?
Bob, I don't have any problem playing the game. But the notion that you can't play in December. So to me, that's a positive. If in fact everybody is concerned about football, they're still going to come and watch West Virginia Marshall, which maybe kind of kickstarts all of us into having better attendance, turning people to basketball. And we've never had really a problem. Football and basketball coexist here very well. We share fan bases, and they come to both.
You've seen the controversy over the football game, though. Should it be played? Should it not be played? Is it different in basketball?
I think it comes down to they have to look at what's best for them, and we have to look at what's best for us. And their charge is to not to do everything to help us, and our charge is not to do everything to help them. It's what's best for our university. We make decisions all the time that are in the best interest of our university.
They beat you last year, but it didn't seem to hurt you as a school in any way, or as a program, or even your season.
Well, we come back and beat Purdue, which is a big win, and I'm sure in the eyes of the committee, and then we come back and beat Notre Dame, who was third or fourth in the country at the time, and beat a couple other people down the stretch. So it still comes down to you have to win games. The truth is, it's better for them when we're good, and it's better for us when they're good. So it's
okay.
How's Marshall improved? How are they a better team than
They're
they
better
were?
inside. They're much better inside. And you know, Pitts is a senior. Johnson's a senior. Pena's a senior. Kane's got a year under his belt. You know, I mean, there's a lot to be said for experience, and they've got a very experienced team.
What do those guards do that will create problems for you? Pitts and Kane.
Well, Pitts is really good. I mean, Pitts gets everybody involved, and he's able to score, and he makes big shots. He made big shots against us a year ago. When their offense started to get a little stagnant, he made big shots for them. He made big shots for them in the Cincinnati game this year. I mean, he's made big shots for them all along.
Do you sense they're playing with more confidence? Like you said, they beat Cincinnati. They're 4-0 in their league.
I have a hard time getting a gauge on my team. I can't really gauge anybody else's.
Does the rebounding explain why they score not shooting well? I mean, they're not a great shooting team. I guess they get a lot of shots.
They're a very opportunistic team. They make shots when they need to make shots. You know, they can miss shots, and then Pitts will make shots. Kane will make shots. But I mean, obviously, when you rebound the ball, you give yourself a lot more chances. And I think if you look, they get a ton of chances because they rebound the ball so well.
In the past, they haven't been a team that's really helped you much in the RPI, but this year, obviously, they're up there, I believe, in the 30s or so. I'm guessing you're happy to see that this could be a helpful game in terms of that, if you're able to win it.
Well, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, I think it's best for both teams when we're both good.
Bob Huggins just stat here. It says 11 of the 13 games have been decided by single digits. One of them is 11, so basically 12 of them fairly close. You figure play that off, you're going to blow somebody out one way or the other a couple of times, but it's not been like that. Is it just
hard.
Because of the rivalry, or is it because
It's hard, but I mean, when you have that much emotion involved, and honestly, when there's 202 fouls called in 4 years, it's hard to get any flow.
been in some emotional games this year? Probably due to bad results. I think Kansas State good. UConn not so good too. You probably figure more than likely you're going to be in that tomorrow night too. Do you sense their hair maybe better from the first two experiences when you find out they're? You only guess.
Every day's a new day. You know, we have good days, we have bad days. Which I guess you get that with youth, but they just, they've never gone through having one to work this hard, and they've never gone through where they've been better than everybody else. I mean, that's why they're here. If they weren't better than everybody else, they wouldn't be here. So I think it takes a while for those guys to figure out how hard you have to play all the time.
Are you more accurate on your, I don't want to say you're guessing, but like you said, you don't know what you're going to get. Maybe it was completely unpredictable beginning or two, but what you might get, can you guess better now this later in the season with them? Are they easy to read?
No, not really.
No.
You've been doing this quite a long time. Have you ever drawn a foul like Harrion did? You got a lot of experience. Have you ever drawn a foul like Harrion did in the UCF game?
I've drawn a lot of fouls. Mine are generally of the two-shot version.
Is there any comparison between this and Xavier and Cincinnati, and is it probably just as well that it isn't like that?
I think it's just as well probably, but it's not like that. I mean, you can play at Cincinnati, you could play whoever. You can play Louisville on Saturday, and Sunday morning they're talking about the Xavier game coming up on Wednesday. It just consumes the whole city. I mean, you have luncheons, you have skyline parties, it just consumes the whole city. And you've been there. I mean, a lot of that's proximity. I mean, you're 5 miles away. We're 3 hours away. I mean, I don't have any idea what they're saying in Huntington. they probably don't have much idea what we're saying over here.
It's really a different look.
It's totally different. It's absolutely totally different. And you know, I think there was a great decision made to get it out of the conference season. And talking to Pete and talking to Skip over the years, I mean, they concurred. You know, it's hard when you play that emotional a game, win or lose, to come back and play Saturday afternoon and be ready to go.